What's quackalacking, guys? I'm a Duck Quack here, and welcome back to another trading investment video on the channel. So loads of you guys have been asking about team of the season trading. So what we're going to do is have a short video here that focuses predominantly on when we should be looking to buy, what we should be looking to buy, what are the signals, all that kind of stuff. And then if you guys like it, then we'll maybe look at like the inform side of it in another video. So we're going to use the Bundesliga as the prime example here, just because they're in packs at the moment, so we can get them all on our screen like this. When it comes to investing in team of the season players, so far anyway, there's been multiple windows of investment opportunities. But before we even look at when we should be buying, we want to look at who we should be buying. So if we take some prime examples here, so let's move on to, let's go with Fabian first. He's a Mexican from the Bundesliga. His stats, yeah, they're not bad. He's got above 80 and 2, 90 dribbling and shooting, and then 70 pace. He's quite short though at 5'7", and Mexican makes it quite hard to hybrid. The 4-4 weak foot and skill moves is pretty nice, and the attacking high medium work rates, again, not an issue for a cam. So is this player the kind of thing that we want to be going for? Well, when I'm deciding on what players I should invest in team of the season, I use some simple rules to start with. So firstly, how often do people use this player's normal gold card or previous inform cards? With Fabian, barely ever. I hardly ever see it used, which suggests that maybe some people will buy this card to try it out, but it's unlikely to be a key staple in that many squads, and hence demand shouldn't be that high. Then we want to compare that to just how often it's going to be packed. So he's one of the lower rated team of the seasons in the Bundesliga, so it's safe to assume that he's going to be packed a hell of a lot. It's currently Sunday evening, and if we have a quick search for his price, I'm guessing he's not far off this card. He's about 30,000, 40,000 at a push. So he's one of the cheaper ones. There's not a lot of potential for longer term investments with these kind of cards because the demand simply isn't there. Let's move on to someone slightly different now. Let's move on to a medium priced one at Modeste. Now, Modeste has got previous informs, and again, he's not constantly used. He's not used all the time, but he's used a lot more than a lot of these other Bundesliga players. We can see at Sunday evening, after all of the big lightning rounds are gone, he settled at around 200,000 coins. So what makes Modeste so good? Well, all of his stats are above 85, except for the defending, which you don't need on a striker anyway. 94 physical, so he's going to be a beast to get off that ball. 97 shooting and 92 dribbling. They're the key stats anyway. His pace is good enough. Stick a hunter card on it if you want more. And then the passing, absolutely fine for a striker. The other big plus he's got going for him is obviously that he's French, so it's easy to build a hybrid around him if you don't want a full Bundesliga team. That's a good card to look for. You've obviously got the staples like Robin, Aubameyang, Lewandowski, even Thiago that are gonna sell whatever, and you know this because of their names, basically. They're huge in the world of football. Everybody wants to play with the big name players, and hence there's going to be demand for them. We've also got the likes of Lahm, and I mean, Lahm's a huge name, but for a right back, 75 pace isn't incredible. A 94 rated card suggests he's fairly rare. So 220,000 coins isn't a bad price for him, but I don't know. He just doesn't seem the most usable card. And having a look here, there is currently 8 of him on the market, 9 of him on the market. So it shows you that you need to do your research, because I'm guessing if there's only 9 of him on the market and he's going for 200,000, then my logic if he's not being used or not in demand is completely wrong. He's from one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's German nationality, so it's easy to hybrid again. And his passing, his dribbling, his defense are all insane. But for a right back, quite low physical, very low shooting, which isn't a problem, but quite low pace as well, especially for a 94 rated card. I'm actually surprised he's gone to 220,000 coins. And based on that logic and my understanding of how the market works and the stats that he's got, I wouldn't have invested in this player myself. And I couldn't imagine him ever being cheaper than 220,000 for a 94 rated card anyway. So when we come to decide on who we want to invest in, it's very important that we're looking at their stats, their nationality, their league, their position. The obvious things, basically. We've got players like Orban here. We'll just use this as the last example. He's discard value, 66 pace. He plays for RB Leipzig, not a massive team in the world. The pace is going to put most people off, especially on a team of the season card. You can't boost it that much. Even his defense and physical don't push 90. There's better options out there. So again, we want to avoid players like this. So let's just say the Bundesliga team of the season has just come out. How do we go about investing in a player? Let's say that we've chose to go for Modeste. So obviously, when a team of the season drops, their prices, they're sky high. There's barely any of them on the market. So the people that want these players quickly, they want them first, they're going to pay over the odds. As more and more time goes on, more and more of these players get packed, obviously. So to start with, on the Friday when it's released, you've got the packs, then an hour later you've got lightning rounds for the next 4 hours. During these lightning rounds, more and more of these are packed, undercutting takes place. Eventually, during this undercutting, they will reach a low point. This is where we can invest. This is the first investment opportunity we have. We can pick up these players then, and then we can move them on after the lightning rounds have ended, before the lightning rounds the next day. Easy money. We want to make sure that we are confident with our selection, confident that they're used enough, confident that the demand is there, though, before we do this. The same goes for the second day. The price will stay steady enough, lightning rounds come, rinse and repeat. The third day, I think Sunday's the last one they did lightning rounds for BPL. Same again. Lightning rounds come, rinse and repeat. Obviously, it's not quite as effective with the Bundesliga because not as many packs are opened because the team's pretty lackluster compared to BPL or the Serie A team of the season that's going to be coming up, or even La Liga. But you get the gist of it. Then, when all of the lightning rounds are done, there's no massive packs coming out. Yes, we might get a couple of 100k packs to buy each on the store or whatever, but in general, they've kind of slowed down at this point. This is when these players should start to settle in price, and the ones that are good, the ones that get hype about them, the ones that YouTubers are talking about, that perform as their stats suggest they should start to rise from that point out. And the Premier League is a prime example of how this works, basically. The slight difference with it is there were billions of saved packs. So when BPL was released initially, there was a huge crash. Everybody didn't expect it. I told you guys that would happen. That as soon as the BPL dropped, everybody opened their save packs, they flooded the market, and then they just slowly increased from there on out. Some of them are up about 300,000-400,000 coins now, and that's because demand outweighs supply at those prices. It's fairly obvious how that works, but there were chances to invest during every lightning round throughout the week. The day before they came out of packs even, that's when they shot up about 100k each. It was crazy. The same happened for Bundesliga, just not to the same scale. And the same's going to happen with the Serie A and La Liga. Probably not quite as much with Ligue 1, but they usually put Ligue 1 and Calcio A together. So that may help as well. A lot more packs would be opened, a lot more investment opportunities for us. So we've just got to make sure that we're finding the right players to invest in, that we're picking them up during the times when people flood the market with them. That's a key fact. We also have to use our own common sense and logic with this. So let's say we want to invest in Modeste and we look at his stats. We need to compare him to someone. So if we look at Modeste and we compare him to Aubameyang, what's the differences? What are the key differences? Well, Aubameyang's a top-class striker. Yes, he's a couple of ratings higher. Yes, he plays for a bigger club. His nationality makes it hard to link, but he's a household name. That's what people like. He's got insane pace, 99 pace. So he's got 99, 97, 92, 94, and 90. 97240. If we compare that to here, so same shooting, just a little bit less passing, basically the same dribbling, even though Modeste has actually got a little bit more, and Modeste is a little bit bigger on the physical. He lacks on the pace. So what makes Aubameyang a 1.5 million coin card, or over 1.5 million coin card, and what makes Modeste a 200k card? Well, it's the household presence. That's all it is. Modeste is French. He's so much better for hybrids. Yes, he lacks the pace that Aubameyang has. That's going to be the key fact. The big name and the pace. So we need to weigh up the two and compare them, if you like. So we're taking off 13 pace from here. Yes, we can add a hunter card, but that's not relevant here. That's not relevant here because you can add chemistry style to anyone. We want to compare him to someone a bit more similar. So if we think of someone in the BPL, maybe Costa, very similar stats. Costa, not used very often in the game, settled at around 400,000 coins. Modeste, much more likely to be used than Costa because of these stats, and he's currently at 200,000 coins. Has he dropped lower in the past few days? Most probably. Will he drop lower than this? I personally think it's unlikely. I could see him raising from, well, he's about 190 at the moment. I could see this guy settling at about 250,000 coins. Again, I haven't researched it properly, but if we compare him to like players, for example, Costa, he's fairly similar, then we've got a rough price guide, haven't we? And we can use that logic, how often they're used, all of that kind of stuff, to make much more informed decisions when we come to actually picking up these players and investing in them. Now, we've also got other big players in this team. We've got the likes of Lewandowski. We're never going to be investing in these cards because we don't really have the money. As a whole, some of us may, but as a whole, we don't have the money and it becomes very risky. That's not the kind of investments we want. What you guys need to do, though, to understand how this works, is look back at the previous team of the seasons. Look at the BPL team of the season, monitor the price on Futbin. Over the week, how it changed. Then look at the Bundesliga, monitor the price of the players over the week, how it changed. Line up like-for-like players and see if the same kind of pattern goes. Then what we want to do is, after we've done all this research, we'll be in a position to either invest in Bundesliga players towards the end of this week or know exactly what we should be doing when La Liga drops on Friday. And we'll be understanding the market. We'll know why we're making these decisions, why we're picking up these players at these prices. We'll have all the logic, we'll have all the knowledge that we need, and it will be absolutely fantastic. Now, if you guys don't have this many coins, don't worry. We can just go for the smaller leagues. So last week we had Eredivisie, and we had the Pro League. Now, the players did the exact same thing. Some of them started massive. Some of them actually rose the next day massively, about 30,000 coins. Some of them dropped massively and then rose when they came out of packs. Look at those players. Look what people are looking for in those. So obviously these leagues aren't massively used. So why is the demand there for these players suddenly? Well, one reason could be the nationality, easy to hybrid again. Another reason is they could just have absolutely incredible stats and they make the perfect super sub. That's what we want to be looking for, guys. It's just a short one here to explain to you what exactly I look for and what you should be doing for. I'm not going to come out here and say, right, we want to be investing in Modest. We want to be investing in Werner. Because then all of you guys will pick him up and it'll just completely blow the cycle. It won't work. One final thought to leave you guys on is Stindl here. Now just look at this guy's stats. He's a 91 rated centre forward, but he's got 96 shooting, 94 passing, 95 dribbling, 82 defence and 89 physical. Why is he a centre forward? He could be a striker, he could be a centre forward, he could be a cam, centre mid, CDM. You can play this guy absolutely anywhere. 80 pace, yes, not fantastic, but you can boost that with a chemistry card. He's currently going for about 100,000 coins. He was about 90,000 coins earlier, and I've been having a discussion with several of you on Reddit about this guy and just how overpowered he is across the whole board. Have him as one of your subs on the bench and he can come in and fill in for any position. That's one of the luxuries of it. Do I see him rising? Yeah, I could see him rising, maybe to about 150,000 coins. The key when you invest, though, is don't be greedy. A lot of these players will drop again. People will realise, oh, there's better in another team of the season, and they'll come to sell them. If you're happy with your profit, sell, and then ignore that player. Don't look at how much it's risen, don't look at how much it's dropped, because you're only going to depress yourself. Just sell for when you're happy, and then move on. Anyway, guys, going to wrap up the video there. I didn't give you any, if you like, buy this player investment kind of tips, but I explained to you my thought process behind team of the season investments, and I'm sure you guys have a load of questions, so make sure you drop them down below. Drop a like if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you guys do if you guys did enjoy it, then I'll do the same kind of thing with how Team of the Week prices and the normal gold cards change during the Team of the Season as well. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.